Greetings, Twin Flames. This is Lucida of Twin Flame RX, and I'm here on September 6th, 2017, which is a Wednesday, with some daily inspiration for you and the rest of the weekly reading. So I usually do a weekly reading, which would have been from Sunday, September 3rd, through Saturday, September 9th, 2017, and this weekly reading will be covering that time. So the recent past that I have drawn will be for the time period that has passed. The present is when you're watching this reading, and then the very near future is the remainder of the week. So I want to thank you all for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to this channel. Thanks to those that follow on Twitter, Pinterest, and Facebook. And thanks to those that come to me in private sessions or have ordered a video reading from me. The links and description of the video reading are in the box below. So thank you again for joining me. Thank you for understanding that I have been very busy moving the last week or so. So even though I haven't had many videos out, I am still thinking of you and on this journey with you, and have been having sessions with clients. There was only 2 full days that I did not spend any time on twin flame related activities because I was very busy and engrossed in my move. And now I'm in the current location. I haven't unpacked yet, so I don't have everything, like all my oracle cards, but I did want to give you a reading today. So we're going to start out by looking at the positive affirmation on the Louise I Can Do It calendar. It says, I respect my boundaries. I insist that others respect them too. That's a very important affirmation. Even with your twin flame, you should have certain boundaries that they do not cross, because the way that we treat ourselves is the way that we treat each other, and also the way that you treat yourself and allow yourself to be treated is the way that others are going to perceive that they could treat you. So if you don't like something that your beloved is doing, you could let them know by the way that you either respond or don't respond to them. So sometimes my beloved will not talk to me instead of arguing with me. And so he says that that's part of how he communicates, is not talking about it when he's upset with me, but that's not even healthy. So yes, you could turn off and not communicate, but you could also let someone know that, hey, this is my boundary and I expect you to treat me a certain way. All right, so let's get started with the prayer. I'm going to Divinely Guided by Spirit open to a prayer in the Sonia Choquette prayer book to get us going with the reading. It is fight or flight reactions. Holy Mother, Father God, divine loving light and heart of the universe, we humbly ask for the healing power of your grace to help us stay grounded and calm even when we feel threatened. Please send in your angels to enable us to take 10 breaths before we speak or act when we are triggered into a fight or flight response, causing us to say or do something that we might later regret. Please let our higher selves take over when we do finally respond. We thank you in advance with our whole heart and soul for answering our prayer, as we know this will bring us greater peace. Amen, and with infinite gratitude. And what an important message in the prayer. Hopefully that resonated with you, that whenever there's a situation, a lot of times it could be with your beloved, in the situation you might want to react, and that would be like maybe not in your highest and best good, or maybe against your union. But the best thing to do is to take that 10 seconds to remember to take it, count to 10, and during that you are calming yourself, and then you will be able to better respond to your beloved. So many times I know in my own union I have said things that I later regretted, and then it takes a longer time to recover from that. So that was a great message. Hopefully this reading will resonate with you. If it doesn't, that doesn't mean that this message isn't for you. It might be a message for you at a later date, or it might have already passed in your life and journey. But you may also come to me in a private session if this doesn't resonate. The link is below, or the links are below. We're going to start off looking at divine feminine energy in the recent past, present, and future for this week. the recent past, the Divine Feminine had the energy of the Hierophant. So being very spiritually in control, mastering his or her spirituality, not being concerned with 3D structures like marriage, or maybe redefining what the Divine Feminine sees as a true commitment is. That's a great energy. By the way, I just thought of this, that today, September 6th, is the full moon in Pisces. The full moon is a great time to release anything around you, any energy or any situation or any people around you that are negative or not serving your highest and best. But this special full moon is in Pisces. Pisces is the sign of love. So one of the things you might want to do today is think of all the things that you have as hang-ups in your love relationships, and maybe the idea that you have of marriage is out of date, and maybe you'll want to release that. I know I've never thought of marriage as something that I could go into lightly. I almost was married, and now that I'm on this journey, I realize that even though that marriage didn't go through, we were like a month from the wedding, the invitations for the wedding were about to be sent out, so everything was planned. And it was devastating to have to cancel everything. And I was wondering, why couldn't I have just gone through it and later gotten a divorce if that was what was meant to be? But I realize now that the whole reason I didn't get married to this person who was my best friend at the time, I knew him for 7.5 years. And even now, like that I've been moving, I've been finding stuff from him. I just realized that he was a preparation for my twin flame. And that even though we didn't get married at the time, we had the commitment between us that was necessary for those 7 or so years. And so having that piece of paper really didn't matter. And his time in my life served its purpose. So I'm glad we didn't have that legal institution binding us down. We had enough of our other issues of things that we bought together, like cars and, things, credit cards and things. So marriage is something that with the twin flame relationship is going to be redefined. So that's what the Divine Feminine's energy has been thinking of in the recent past. In the present time, the Divine Feminine has the 5 of Pentacles energy going on. The 5 of Pentacles is an energy of change in the 3D environment. So maybe feeling a little bit unstable presently in the 3D, especially when it comes to their beloved twin flame, not knowing what's going on with that relationship or with that connection. Maybe not feeling the twin as much. I know that myself and other clients that I've been dealing with in the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks have said that they feel a sense of detachment toward their twin flame. And I feel that as well. I feel that this has a purpose though. During this time, if we are detached, that releases some of the energy that we were putting forth toward our twin. And that energy then can be felt by the twin's higher self and also then by the twin. So basically what that means is that your twin can step up to the plate because they feel less pressure coming toward them. So when we are focused on them, even if we're not communicating with them and chasing them in the 3D, we could chase them in the 5D by having so much energy being directed at them or toward them. So it's good to take a step back and feel a little detachment at times. But I can sense that this is making some feel unstable in the physical world. Now in the near future, we have a good energy for the Divine Feminine. I take it as a good energy because in the Rider-Waite Tarot, by the way, this is the Zach Wong Revelations Tarot, it is a card of celebration. Here it looks more like a card of a third party coming in. So usually the Three of Cups is a card of celebration. It also could be considered to be a card of marriage, where you have the divine feminine and masculine, and then others coming in to help celebrate that union. Now that's what I'm taking it as. Still, even though the picture here looks like there is that third party breaking up the union, it could be, but let's look at the other cards to get a bigger picture of what's going on this week. We have the Divine Masculine cards here. The Divine Masculine recent past cards come up as Six of Swords for the recent past. So this is a card showing that there is a boat. There is somebody going from choppier waters to more stable and smooth waters. So this is an emotional transition that's being made, or has been made recently, by the Divine Masculine, where the Divine Masculine is moving into a better space emotionally, or has. So that gives them a better edge when it comes to this twin flame journey. Presently, we have the Divine Masculine as the Fool, and so I take this to be good, because the Fool energy is an energy where the Divine Masculine is no longer afraid to jump into this union and basically to take that leap of faith that they have to take. We see the butterfly up there as symbolizing transformation, and there's the sun. We just had that total solar eclipse in Leo, which I believe has energized the Divine Masculine and given them more confidence so that they can be this fool that is going to be a fool in love, basically, and move toward you, if you're the Divine Feminine watching, on this twin flame journey. We also have the Nine of Wands energy in the near future. So the 9 is basically a message here showing that the Divine Masculine is going to be very passionate. Wands are a symbol of passion and ideas. So not letting anything deter them from their goal. So I believe their goal is to continue on the journey and to get into this union with their beloved. So the 9 is getting close to the 10, which is a card of completion. So I believe the Divine Masculine is going to, because they're in those better emotional waters, start taking that leap of faith and continuing to move forward toward their beloved on this journey. Now we have the union energies in the center here. The recent past for the union is the Six of Cups. So kind of a feeling of boredom. Okay, so like in the recent past, you may have been feeling that nothing was happening in your union. You know that you have the Three of Cups here. So you might have known, yes, we have the 2 cups, one for each of the beloveds, and then the third energy. And then just sitting back and being like, okay, so what more is that? What more is there? So that boredom setting in. You could see the face of this creature here, this sea creature, this mermaid or merman, very bored. I know that as far as I go, I've been so busy with moving that I haven't really even taken much time in the 5th dimension to connect with my beloved, and part of that was a little bit of that boredom energy. It's just like also part of that detachment energy I was talking about, and it happens on the journey. It's just one of the natural things. We go through ebbs and flows, so don't worry if something is wrong. You're not ever going to lose the connection with your beloved. Wow, so in the present time, the union is basically the lovers. So we see Divine Feminine and Masculine counterparts holding hands, touching hands, locking eyes, being overseen. And I was just thinking of Archangel Michael right before I picked this card up, because when I shuffled and prayed over the cards, I didn't look at any of the cards. I just laid them down. So I'm like really shocked about this. And the fact that I was just thinking about Archangel Michael, that I don't have the cards, but I was going to channel a message to end the reading. Archangel Michael wants us to know that he's protecting our unions, that we are the lovers, that, you know, our beloved feels the same way about us as we feel about them. They may not fully realize it in the 3rd dimension because it's something that originates in higher dimensions and has to be brought down and anchored into the 3rd dimension. The Divine Feminines have been doing that. The Divine Masculines are catching up. But they can feel the love, and it's love that comes from their own soul, not just our soul. So, we're not making this up. We are not delusional in this journey. So just letting you know that you are protected, and your beloved also feels the love as well for you presently. In the near future, we have the Four of Pentacles energy coming up for the union. So this is a stable energy saying, hey, we have something in the third dimension. We don't have it all, but we have something, and we want to hold on to it. So it looks like, up until the end of the week, the love is going to stay. There may be little to no movement in the third dimension from this love energy, bringing it down into something tangible. But that doesn't mean that in the weeks and months ahead there won't be movement. The Divine Feminine is going to be feeling the love. Both partners are. The Divine Masculine is set to move toward the Divine Feminine as the Fool. So Archangel Michael wants us to remember that we're guided and protected on this twin flame journey. And that's how I'm going to end this reading right now, and remind you that I'm fully in my new place now. I'll be setting up my altar soon and have a new setup for readings. I'm going to be doing a video every single day from now on. I'm available all the time. Whenever you see me on those links below, you could set an alert on one of the profiles to get a reading on demand. I didn't have time to set up my website yet, but I will be doing that this month. And then I will be able to book readings with you. And healings as well. So as I say healings, I'm sending you some Reiki healing energy along with this video transmission in order to balance out your energies, to balance out the energies of your beloved, and to balance out the energies of your union, so that you may remember the love. Today is the day of love. Release all your hang-ups that you have to love, so that you may usher in new energies with the phase after the full moon tonight, where you release again all of the hang-ups that are blocking you from true love with your beloved twin flame. Many blessings. Have a wonderful day and rest of the week. Namaste.